The U.S. and the European Commission have pledged to provide medical evacuations for healthcare workers and the responders that are fighting the Ebola crisis in West Africa. Daniel Ryntjes is in our newsroom with the latest, and this is becoming a very, very big story.
Indeed it is, Phil. As we know, the international community is trying to set up field hospitals and isolation units in West Africa because the vast majority of patients are still being turned away from clinics. And many foreign aid workers have been reluctant to join the fight. Despite increasingly urgent appeals for foreign medical staff, many have chosen to stay away from West Africa. Now the European Commission and the US government have responded at a crisis meeting hosted by the World Bank.
In terms of immediate tasks right now, first, something that I admit we have struggled with for quite some time, medevac. Finally, we have a solution. We have a contract. As Ngozi said, turn to the private. When you are desperate, turn to the private sector. They'll come up with a solution for you. So we can, with under 48 hours, guarantee the evacuation of international medical staff, crucial for more people to go.
Though details haven't been provided, the US commitment appears to be broader, including all the responders to the emergency.
It would be a very helpful recruiting message if we come out of this roundtable and say that a definitive outcome is we can provide medical evacuation where that is indicated for responders, including healthcare workers.
Liberian President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf joined the meeting by video conference.
I believe what Administrator Shah has committed to, medical evacuation, will remove a major constraint from their willingness to return to the operations that are so much needed for us to continue to ensure that the economy does not go into major decline.
This week, a report from the World Bank estimated the cost of the crisis could surpass $32 billion, of which most relates to what health officials term aversion behavior. People and businesses not directly affected choosing to avoid economic activity in West Africa. The co-author of that report says the commitment on medical evacuations will help mitigate this.
The emphasis is on the need to reduce this aversion behavior by reassuring people, first of all, that they can go to help, that outsiders who want to go to help can do so safely and can be evacuated if they, by bad luck or some mistake, happen to get sick.
So the medical evacuation commitments are significant in the fight to help patients, the effort to contain the spread of Ebola, and the message of reassurance to the international community. Phil.
Hey, Daniel, the number 32 billion, why that number specifically?
Well, I spoke to one of the authors of this report, and they are very openly admitting that this is just a ballpark figure. And it's one that's designed to send a message, and that is that the slower the response from the international community, the more exponential not only the number of cases that spread around the region, but also the way in which this impacts the economy. They looked at things like the SARS crisis and saw how that impacted. And the fascinating thing about the calculations, which are based on that kind of reality, are this: that only about 10 to 20% of the impacts financially are directly about the people who are suffering and their effects. About 80 to 90% of it is perception in the markets, perception of businesses that go into West Africa, and the perceptions of people, frankly, on Wall Street, who will look at this and say, there's too much risk in West Africa at the moment. So that provides the case for fast and effective action by the international community.
All right, Daniel, certainly a huge story. Thank you.